Welcome to a self-published author's diary. I am Elodie Novodatsky. I write about first times, second chances, things that scare the crap out of me, and things that make me laugh out loud. I'll be speaking with you and sharing my adventures in self-publishing, the behind the scenes of writing, and the business side of it. And before we get started today, a small message from our sponsor, Anchor. Thanks for listening. Hello, it is Monday here. Yes, Monday. I know. I said I was going to be recording this podcast over the weekend, but for some reason, it never happens. I thought it would yesterday. I almost had the time to do it, but then I didn't. We did watch the latest episode of Billions, so the podcast episode did not happen. And we had a busy but wonderful, wonderful weekend. And so today what I'm going to be talking about is the cover reveal of my latest novel, what I did, how much it cost me, what I'm expecting from it, and then I'm going a bit deeper into marketing. So as I said, during the week, last week, I revealed the cover of Sweets for Love, both in English and in French. And how much did this cover cost me? So I got the illustrations of my main characters from Camber Emporium for $75. I'll add the link to the episode description in case you want to check out. They have stock illustrations that you can buy. They also have some pre-made covers that you can purchase. The process was easy. I did have specific requirements such as the Baker hat and the glasses for Aisling and the tattoos and the smirk for Alessandro. I then designed the cover myself in Canva, adding a picture from Deposit Photos as well as two small pictures, the swan and the Maryland crab, which actually the Maryland crab isn't like super visible, but it is kind of for me to know that it's there, and it's a tidbit of info that I'll tell my newsletter subscribers in an upcoming email. And the other picture that I got from Deposit Photo, the small one, is the swans from Swanscove, which is the name of the series. And both of those two small ones I had already purchased for The Leftover Bride, and they will be showing up on all of my books in that series. The other picture is basically cakes, which works since my main character, Aisling, is a baker. I used the same font as The Leftover Bride, and I had already purchased that font last year, and I'm going to be again using it for the other books in the series as well. It helps, I think, with the visual for the series. It helps create the brand for the series. And the cover that I use for the English-speaking book is the same as I'm using for the French-speaking market. Of course, I'm changing the title because the title is not the same. One is Sweets for Love, and in French it is Un amour de pâtisserie. The cover has been very well received, and based on my research, it's working very well for my genre at the moment. So how did I reveal it? I didn't make a huge push for the cover, meaning that I spent no money in terms of cover reveal. And while it did take me a few hours to create all the social media posts, blog posts, and emails, I didn't try anything new except TikTok. I didn't ask anyone to share it. I don't really have a team right now, like a street team right now. And it was a low effort cover release, which still got me 2 pre-orders. And I know this isn't a sprint. For example, I still need to announce it on my author Instagram page. I announced it on my series Instagram, but I will use the same video for the author page. I also shared the cover on my author TikTok page, but not on my series TikTok page. I'm doing this week. How many posts did I do? I did 3 short videos on TikTok. Each was viewed about 250 times. So here the question is, did I want the same people to view my videos there? Yes and no. Yes, because I was thinking if somebody ends up seeing my cover reveal done differently more than once, it might raise awareness and also count towards the rule of 7, where In marketing, it is said that someone has to see your product, hear your message at least 7 times before acting upon it. So here, let me explain for a minute the rule of 7 in a bit more detail, in case you haven't heard of it before, and also because it actually really interests me. I've just spent, before what I was preparing the episode, I spent quite a bit of time looking for the history of the rule of 7, and I also want to dig a bit deeper, which I have not done yet, into what that rule, like, has it evolved a bit during, we're now in a more digital age than when it was first, like that term was first coined, and then what it may mean for authors. So I found an article on Sunsplash Media Group. In summary, it started as the rule of 6. The first time a man sees an advertisement, he takes no notice of it. The second time he looks at the name. The third time he looks at the price. The fourth time he reads it. The fifth time he speaks of it to his wife. The sixth time he buys. The rule of 6 was increased, again, that's apparently from 1859. The rule of 6 was increased to 7 by the movie industry in the 30s. Again, based on that article, because studio bosses found that 7 impressions of advertising and promotion were required to compel someone to see one of their movies. Then another article I found on Herbert Cincinnati's website explains that the rule of 7 marketing expert Dr. Jeffrey Lent developed the rule of 7, which is also known as drip-fed marketing. To penetrate a market, he believes you need to consistently reach a prospect at least 7 times. And then, did I actually request access to a scholarly article on the topic? Because I'm super interested in seeing how I can incorporate more of this into my marketing strategy. And because it's also talking about different, one was more about the movie industry. The one I want to read, I haven't had access to it yet, is about a graduate program. Like, how do they actually might reach more prospective students by using this rule? And I want to see how different industries use it, because that's something that can tell me a lot about how I, as an author, as a self-published author, can use it. Because while I was aware of the rule of 7, I haven't done much research on what it may mean nowadays when prospective readers might be flooded with messages or maybe not see mind, and when there are many different ways to reach said prospective readers. And this is why, going back to the 3 different TikTok videos that I've done, I don't mind if those 3 videos I posted on TikTok are seen by the same people. The first people may have scrolled by, the second may have watched half, and the third may have seen all of it. This is kind of the approach that I'm going with when it comes to social media, that even if my numbers are not super vast, even if it's the same people seeing it, but those are people that are actually interested in my content and in my books, if only 10% of the 220 people who have seen my videos actually pre-order the book, well, that's already 22 new pre-orders that I wouldn't have before, and might also tell the algorithm on Amazon that they might need to show my books to more people. So it's a step-by-step approach, right? So on Instagram, I posted one of the videos that I had made on TikTok, and that one has been seen 1,586 times. I still have those 2 other videos that I can post there. And as I said, I also need to post them on the other Instagram accounts. So will I do more videos with the cover? Of course, because like the sales of the books are not limited to the publishing date. Like when your book is released, the day that your book is released is not the one and all day for sales for the book. Like the book life, I think, especially for a self-published author, when you can rebrand your cover, when you can change the summary, when you can change the keywords, when you can try to market it in different ways, it has a lot of potential even years down the road. So the cover reveal for me is, I think, a good way to start creating a bit more buzz, even if you're not making a huge investment of time and big splash within 24 hours. B, use this as a way to get your book in front of prospective readers. and in front of your already established audience. So what else do I need to do? In French, I still need to share a blog post and do one more post just in French on Facebook on my author page. In addition, I also need to change my header in my Facebook group in English and my Facebook page in English. I also do need to update my website with all the links and the cover for Sweets for Love and my Twitter header and the pinned tweet in my Twitter profile. I also would like to post a blog on Goodreads with the cover in English. I already uploaded the cover there, but I want to make it so that people who actually follow me on Goodreads also see an update with the cover. Oh, and I also need to finish writing the book. That would be good. I've been making progress this week, both on Sweets for Love and on the Vela story that I'm going to publish this week. So that's very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works, if I'm going to get any reader, or how maybe a TikTok strategy might help the Kindle Vela. So I'm looking forward to looking at all of that. And I'm also very much looking forward to getting possibly that scholarly article on the Rule of 7 sent to me by the authors. I don't have access to what I used to have access to, when I was studying or when I was stitching. I don't have access to a lot of the databases. And so for this one, you could ask the author if they would be agreeing to send you the article for your own research purposes. So I'm waiting to see if they're actually going to agree. And I might do a bit more research throughout the week about what authors have been doing in order to maybe keep track on how those different ways of reaching readers work with that Rule of 7. So that's something that I'm looking forward. I'm actually very giddy about it. So, and otherwise, I've been growing my self-published authors diaries TikTok. I now have 220 followers. I started last week with, I think, 120 followers. So I gained 100 followers last week. I've been publishing content there with trending sounds and some vlog updates consistently through the week. I'm doing it in a way which is not stressful for me at all, which I'm really enjoying. Like I share kind of like what I'm doing with this podcast, except it's much shorter. It doesn't have as much information. Some of it is trending sound, which I'm not doing on the podcast, but it's very interesting for me to see that I can grow my TikTok account by doing low investment in terms of time, low investments content. It's, I think, hopefully helpful content, sometimes entertaining content and funny content, but it's not requiring a whole lot of my time. And I enjoy the interaction that I'm getting from the account. So yeah, talking about it, I told you last week that I would add some of those possible vlogs to the podcast as like a quick update. And there is one that I want to share, which is an update on my Amazon ads. Oh, and make sure you stay tuned after this small update on my Amazon ads if you would like to listen to the retail sample of the German-English bilingual audiobook that is narrated by Megan Carter and Katrin Kana. And as always, I will share data with you about sales, what has worked, what hasn't worked, and everything else. But first, the update on the Amazon ads. Self-publishing vlog. So today's Sunday when I'm recording this, and my ads on Amazon are still going slowly. I'm going to show you. So those are my ads in the US. In impression, I have 2,788. I spent 77 cents and I sold nothing. And that's in French. I have 27,170 impressions. I spent 16.59 euros. The total sales are 23.65 euros. I had 67 clicks and 5 orders. So while my sales are 23.65 euros, I think my profit for this is about 2 euros. Because out of the 23.65 euros, I think I get 18 euros something. So at least in France, there are a couple of sales. It might help me also go up the ranking. So that's good. Another thing that I'm doing is that this week I am publishing my first Kindle Vella story under a pen name. So it's going to be romance and it's new adult and it's steamy drama. Think Gossip Girl, steamier with a lot of drama. A lot of drama. It's very angsty. It's fun to write. I think it works well in episodic terms. Like I'm keeping the length of the episode at 1,500 words approximately. So follow if you'd like to know more about this particular new adventure that I'm going on to. And of course, listen to my podcast for the full episodes. I'm recording the newest episode today. It will release on Tuesday. Bye. Here's the retail sample of the bilingual audiobook One Dream Only, Alles für einen Traum in German English. As I've mentioned in the past, my bilingual books is one way for me to actually make a profit, and I am trying to venture into the bilingual audiobooks world. I will, as I said, keep you updated on how that's working, but here's already the retail sample.
Lernst du Englisch? Are you learning German? This book can help you with that. One chapter in English, one chapter in German. Dieses Buch kann dir dabei helfen. Ein Kapitel auf Englisch, ein Kapitel auf Deutsch. She thought she was on her way to the top. 16-year-old Natalia Pushkaya has one dream and one dream only: becoming the best ballerina ever. Dancing's always been who she is, and she's working her hardest to land the main role of the School of Performing Arts End of the Year Showcase. But will she make it? Within a week, Natalia's life will be changed forever. Sie hatte sich schon auf dem Weg zur Spitze gesehen. Die 16-jährige Natalia Pushkaya hat nur einen einzigen Traum: die beste Ballerina zu werden, die es je gegeben hat. Das Tanzen hat schon immer bestimmt, wer sie ist, und sie würde alles tun, um die Hauptrolle in der jährlichen Abschlussvorstellung der School of Performing Arts zu landen. Aber wird es ihr gelingen? Innerhalb einer Woche ändert sich Natalias Leben für immer.
As always, thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to support this podcast, don't forget you can become a monthly subscriber. I think it starts at 99 cents. And if you would like to listen to the rest of the audiobook, that's another way to help me support this podcast. It's available on pretty much every e-retailer. It's available on... So I will add some of the links in this episode description. And don't forget to rate, subscribe, share with your friends. It really does help. And if you are looking, again, for ways to help Ukraine, I will keep adding the links in the episode's descriptions. And I want to say happy reading to all readers out there, and to all writers, happy writing.